Hello, you guys, and good morning. Welcome to a new Foodie Beauty update video. Okay, let's just get right into it. So this morning, she has been a very busy foodie. Community post raging about, any guesses? Any guesses, anyone? Go on. Make your best bet. I bet you can't guess it. Okay, so you probably did. She's raging about FFG and BBJ again. Yep. So the whole trying to convince us that it would never happen again, he only cheated once, yada, yada, yada. It didn't work. Trying to make us think that they're this happy family again and he's doing better than ever and he's never, ever going to think about another Kay Bella again. Didn't work. In fact, she managed to piss people off even more, saying that she didn't know she wanted to get Julia spayed. She thought Julia deserved to have a bunch of kittens because Foodie Beauty wanted them. So, between all the new vlogs of Foodie Beauty running, trying to convince us she's on this health journey, and they're going on all these dates now, despite all that, despite her trying new diets, then failing at every single one of them, nothing's working for her. So, she had to go back to raging. And boy, is it a long one. So it is edited, and it's from an hour ago. Here we go. It is stealing because she did not go to the person I intended her to. An entire scheme was made to take the cat, which is psychotic behavior. People defending this are sick. And another thing that is crazy is that zombies will say, "Be happy, BBJ is safe." Prove it. Do a video, not a photo of her living a happy life, and I'll shut up. You aren't supposed to be doing this right now. You said you weren't raging anymore. You didn't feel good after going back and forth with Channel. I don't think if proof was stapled to your forehead, you would ever shut up about this. She continues and says, "Please watch this video," and shares a link to her own video talking about the situation, which she's a liar. Why would we believe anything she has to say? If anything, she should have linked a different video by anybody else, and maybe people could take it seriously for like a second, but it's from her. And based on her track record, she's a lying liar who lies. Continues, "It proves that I tried my best to investigate as much as I could with the resources I had the person I was giving my BBJ to." My BBJ? For one thing, what would you have to investigate if you weren't dumping your cats because you met another guy? Like, remember, this isn't the first time this happened. When you wanted to live with Natter and all that was going down, remember how he traumatized your cat? You said you weren't sure if he hit her or lunged at her, and you were just going to get rid of them because you weren't going to have time for them anymore. So you were going to rehome them. And then during that time, you were also starting to try to convince us that BBJ was so ill and so old that she needed to be put down. If you weren't dumping your cats, none of this would have happened. If you actually did your research on who you were rehoming your pets to, none of this would have happened. If you cared even a little bit about BBJ, your BBJ, none of this would have ever happened. So Foodie continues, "People accuse me of not caring because of FFG's defamation. But you can clearly see in the conversation screenshots with the person whom I thought BBJ was going to, that I had an appointment to get her nails done and a health checkup. I even say it in the message. I honestly never ever in my wildest imagination thought that there would be someone sick enough as FFG and this person and her brother to come up with a scheme in order to literally steal the pet of someone. FFG talking about you has nothing to do with the way I feel about you. I feel you stopped taking care of your pets when you started letting them go hungry. I believe you stopped caring about your pets when a man you were seeing tried to hurt your cat and you stayed with him. I believe you stopped caring about your pets when you were gone chasing men around all day, every day, all night, every night, and you stopped paying attention to them and you stopped coming home to them. I believe you stopped caring about your pets every single time you had a new love interest. I know you don't care about your pets because you let BBJ have 5 ingrown nails. Nothing FFG says has swayed my opinion on you. I think you're an animal abuser because neglect is a form of abuse. You cared about your pets when you still wanted them around. The second you got a taste at something different, you wanted to dump them every single time. You stopped caring about those cats a long time ago. Do you remember how you used to keep their feeding area? They didn't have fresh food and water. They had a filthy area to eat and drink out of. And the food, they just had to pick right up off the floor wherever it was thrown. And I know you're going to say, oh, I was going through a hard time. It's because of my mental health. How did you feel okay enough to drive to Natter's house and go spy in his windows to see what he was up to? How did you feel well enough to do fast food tours every single day? Burger King, McDonald's, then pizza, then maybe a food truck. How is it you are magically better to go meet married men at different hotels? How is it you felt well enough to go shopping during those times? Remember when you didn't want to do laundry, so every day you'd go shopping for a new outfit and underwear? How did we feel okay to go do all of that? We couldn't just take our cats to the vet to make sure that they were okay? No. The focus was on Foodie during that time and her selfish wants and needs. She just didn't feel good enough when it came to the cats. Just a heads up, we are going to Foodie Beauty Twitter after this. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, let's continue with Foodie Beauty's dramatic rage. This person gained my trust and was very personal and reassuring. We can never be 100% sure who we are rehoming to, and my mistake was rehoming her to a stranger. Your mistake was rehoming her and dumping her for a man, Foodie Beauty. The way you talk, you could get any man on this earth, according to you anyways. Why did you have to choose the one person you had to get rid of your cats for? You couldn't pick somebody that wanted to include your cats in the family? Didn't want to make you move away from your family and everything? You couldn't pick someone like that? Speaking for me personally, I'd dump the man and keep the pets. That's just me, though. But he continues, again, I didn't think people were sick like this. Sure, she was taken to the vet by FFG, but as you see in the screenshots, I also had an appointment to do that. You guys, I think at the end of this, we're going to look at those screenshots. I've seen them before, and the way she says that they happened and the actual conversation are two different things. She wasn't pleading and begging with this person. Let me please take my cat to the vet before I rehome her to you. She brought it up once or twice. The person was like, no, I'll take her. And she was like, are you sure? They said, yeah. And she was like, okay, that's it. That's all. So she says, sure, she was taken to the vet by FFG. But as you see in the screenshots, I also had an appointment to do that. Should it have been as soon as I got home? Maybe. I didn't notice the nails until later, though, and made an appointment promptly after. I had a lot to deal with in a short amount of time. It's severely, Foodie. I was severely depressed, and this person caused a lot of trauma. Wait, you were severely depressed? Didn't you just meet the love of your life? Didn't you have your whole life ahead with this soulmate of yours? But you were severely depressed? Huh. So Foodie goes on to say that she's still considering her options, but okay. So she says, I would still like to follow through on a court case regarding this, but from here it is very hard as I would have to appear in court. Weren't you just in Canada for a while though? Could it really be because there's nothing to take her to court over? So it's very hard from there, and it means she would have to appear in court. She says, as I was told by a civil litigator, I'm still considering my options, but this whole event has caused deep trauma for me. I had the cat for many years, more than half of my life. Yeah, Foodie. So imagine how BBJ feels when you dumped her twice. Did you ever think about how she feels? I feel bad for the cat who loved you, Foodie, and was attached to you. And at the end of the day, whatever shit you caused for everybody else, even for yourself, she greeted you at the door and was happy to see you. She was there for you when every man dumped you, as they all eventually did. I feel bad for her, not for you. So she said, I had the cat for many years, more than half my life, and I just trusted she was going to the person I was talking to and trusted. Why did you trust somebody after talking to them a handful of times? In my experience, it never goes well. In your experience, it never has went well. And why trust somebody with the life of your precious BBJ you've only talked to a handful of times? So she says, so beyond the initial vet visits, there is currently no updates on BBJ or proof of life or how she lives day to day. Imagine your worst enemy who wants to cause you harm in every way she can stole your pet that you had forever. I can't imagine that because I would never dump my dogs. So sorry, you're on your own feeling like that, Foodie. And now you don't know how she is doing, and all you can imagine is her dying alone in a smoky crap hole with your worst enemy, who admitted to disliking cats and has a dog. Exploits the cat for merch and views. Nothing more. And to those who will surely retort, well, if you cared about her, you shouldn't have rehomed her. That's not true. If I didn't care, I wouldn't have been concerned and taken the time to and questioned the person so much. I wouldn't have made sure she was a fit for an elderly cat. Would have just fostered her with Sam. No. She needs special care. And do you honestly think FFG is providing her with that? All I know is you had plans to euthanize BBJ, and BBJ's still alive. From what it appears, BBJ is thriving, not just surviving. I'll take that. So anyways, she says, and do you honestly think FFG is providing her with that? Many people have to rehome their pets. I thought it was the right thing to do for them. BBJ cannot survive a long flight like that. Or at least I didn't think so. So is that why you were rushing to put her down then? Anyway, I know people are tired of hearing about it, but honestly, it's something on my mind I wanted to share, and since it's my channel and something that affected me, no one has the right to tell me otherwise. For those who have followed my channel for many years have always seen how big of a part of it my cats have been and the love I gave them. All that? And that's why we were so shocked and hurt that you dumped them. Not once, but twice. Remember, you tried to get rid of them twice. That's why so many of us felt betrayed. We were lied to. We were watching a lie this entire time. He says, there was a photo going around of food thrown on the ground for her to eat. At that time, my whole life was in shambles, and so was my home. I was out of shape and had trouble bending all the way over at times to properly place it in the dish. Hold up, Foodie, I'm going to need you to stop lying. Yes, you were still out of shape, but you managed to bend over for every random man who wanted it. But you couldn't bend over to make sure your cats had clean water and food in an actual bowl? So she couldn't bend over to put food in the bowl, but she says, I only wanted what was best for them, and it was a hard decision. Anyways, thanks for listening. Just watch the video with the screenshots and you will see how detailed her scheme was. Yeah, hers was pretty detailed, and yours lacked any sort of care about your animals. So yeah, so just watch the video, she says, with the screenshots, and you will see how detailed her scheme was. No idea how anyone can support such actions. When something traumatic happens to you, you are allowed to bring it up as much as you'd like. She keeps saying she's traumatized. I think she's just deflecting from this. So Foodie asks, if I was putting the cat down, why would I rehome her? Dirt nap was a joke. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Do you guys think that was a joke? How long did that joke last? And every time she would get mad and rage, she would bring it up to hurt people like, oh, BBJ's not going to leave the vet like this. She's going to leave in a box. Remember when she would say things like that? It wasn't a joke, Foodie. And honestly, let's pretend and play along for a second it was a joke. Who would ever joke around like that about their animals? The thought of anything happening to my two dogs or them not even being here tomorrow, if I sit and think about it too long, I will cry hysterically. So I don't think joking about that is normal. It's what you sincerely wanted. And then she goes on to say this. FFG literally euthanized her two dogs. But it's okay for her to say disgusting things about my family, right? Or my infertility? Please have several seats. Yikes. Okay, let's look at these screenshots. So Amy Flowers says, my bro-in-law will be in Ottawa tomorrow and every day this week. He's a total sweetheart and is very good with animals, and he'll bring her to me. I'm going to make a vet appointment tomorrow and I'll confirm the vet appointment date and he can come tomorrow. So then Foodie says, oh, you want to bring her to the vet? Because I was going to bring her. But if you prefer to bring her to your vet, it's okay. Did I miss Foodie begging and pleading to take BBJ to the vet? Or did I literally just read her say, oh, you want to bring her to the vet? Because I was going to bring her. But if you prefer to bring her to your vet, it's okay. With a smiley face. And she says, he can come get her tomorrow if he wants. And he's saying, no, I need more time with her. I have to just take her. So I know I did the right thing. Can I have maybe another few days with her just to spend time with her and say goodbye? None of that. He could come get her tomorrow if he wants, she says. Amy Flowers says, oh, perfect. Okay, tomorrow afternoon, and I'll take her cat tree to help her adjust easier. Foodie says, okay, perfect. I'll get her ready. Then Amy Flowers says, yeah, I'll message you tomorrow. She says, okay, perfect. Have a good night, smiley face. Amy Flowers responds, thank you, and you too. Then Foodie says, so part of the reason I was bringing BBJ to the vet tomorrow was to get her nails trimmed, as while I was away they grew too long and into her pads of her feet. So a vet will have to clip them, because I can't remember the exact amount of time. How long did it take from the time Foodie realized BBJ's nails were grown into her paws to when FFG finally took BBJ to go get help for it? How much time went by? Foodie's trying to pass it off as like, oh, I just noticed this, so it needs to be done. BBJ was suffering for a while. Anyways, Foodie says, as while I was away, they grew too long and into her pads of her feet. So a vet will have to clip them. Her appointment is for 2:30, so how about I bring her to have them clipped, and then she could be picked up like after around 3:30 or 4, depending, let me know. So Foodie was gonna take her, but said as soon as she took her, Amy Flowers can come get BBJ right away. Like, she didn't want BBJ any longer than she had to have her. So she literally offered once. He DMs her again, hello. And that's all we see. By the way, you guys, there is a fake me in this comment section. There's fake me. How did they even spell that? Oh, good old Jess Breerson today. Anyways, you guys, let's go head over to Foodie Beauty Twitter and see what people are saying over there. Honestly, Foodie Beauty is just mad and hurting and taking it out on the wrong people. She's knowing while she's slipping up left and right because she's not getting therapy for her problem. Salah's probably slipping up left and right because he's not getting therapy for his problems. So she's mad at him and raging at FFG. I would say we're right on schedule. Lilybet said, you can change the story, but we have the receipts, Foodie Beauty. And Lilybet retweeted their post from September 29th of 2023 that shows how BBJ and Sam were living. Lilybet said back then, this is how poor BBJ and Sam lived under her care. Chantel, you didn't care about them then, and you don't now. They meant nothing to you.
Food you were so whining for.
If you haven't seen this before, just a heads up, it's pretty bad.
Sam.
Yeah, I'm not going into her room. You know what? You don't want to know what it's like in her room, honestly. Guys, come
I am repulsed.
Night Owl said, end of the month cat deflection cash grab post again, I see? Guess it is that time again. Stay bothered and stay effed, foobs. Coffee drinker asked, Foodie Beauty, does your flat in Kuwait look like this yet? We know you already have a million fruit flies, some from rotting food and some from your crap grapey fake husband. Then they retweeted Buck's post, who showed how Foodie Beauty lived in the villa with her cats. Do you guys remember this? Again, she was too depressed to clean up any of this. But remember how she had all the time in the world to chase Natter? Does anybody else remember that? Remember the Gatineau glitter? Going out at random hours to different hotels, motels, holiday inns? Which of Machine says, Foodie Beauty, your planner shows that tomorrow is the 5-week anniversary of your diabetes-caused ER visit in Canada. Remember that day? Waiting, sitting on hard chairs, your phone dying. Well, your man was busy texting someone else and thinking about anything but you. But I'm glad you were so strong alone. Which of Machines also said, Foodie Beauty, it's helpful to scrapbook and journal. Keep mementos of your past and look back on them fondly. This is one of my favorite photos from December 2023. What's yours? And it's Salah DMing Kbella saying, do you have Instagram? Oh yeah, I will send you a message on Insta there. Yup said, Foodie Beauty ranting about her cat shows you exactly how she lies to herself and whatever her priorities are. What happened to Pious Peyton, who doesn't live in the past and who is always kind to others? That lasted all of 2 minutes? Mrs. Floopa Booty shows the part of her community post rage where it says, I was severely depressed and this person caused a lot of trauma. Mrs. Floopa Booty asked, weren't you a happy bride at this time? How could you have been so depressed when you just married your handsomest, poop-obsessed husband? Okay, back to reminding her that her fake husband is a sick degenerate that doesn't want her. Lizzie said, Foodie Beauty asking for proof of BBJ's well-being? Where was this energy when she allowed BBJ to suffer from kidney failure, urine infection, and ingrown nails? Sarah said, and another thing. Depression is no excuse to let your animal live in filth and squalor. You were 4 effing weeks in Canada and didn't make any effort to make the vet appointment for BBJ. Your plan was clear. You sad waste of space. You wanted to end her. No matter how many times she tries to rewrite history, she wanted to put BBJ down. It wasn't a joke. All right, you guys, I would love to talk with you guys about this down in the comment section. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this. Let's shake off any bad vibes or energy because I know it's a lot to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about animal neglect, especially when it involves a cat we all loved and watched. So let's shake off all these bad vibes. Shake, 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 shake. And let's have a healthy discussion down in the comment section. Have a great day, great evening, wherever you are. And I will see you so soon. Bye, everybody.